Hey, good morning. Dr. Derek Atchley coming to you. Chiropractor, mentor, coach, trainer, husband, father. How are you this morning? How's your day starting? So your frequency's off. It's fuzzy. It's like, remember radio? Remember when the frequency was wrong and you just got fuzz, you got static, right? So we're going to talk about frequency in two planes. One, you, two, the world. And one, you. So how do we know your frequency's off, right? You're unhappy, you're angry, you're sad, you're not having success, you're frustrated, things aren't going the way you want them to, whatever, whenever you feel like you're not in harmony and things aren't flowing, your frequency's off. And don't worry, we're going to talk about how to course correct that frequency and tune that dial so you get that better frequency, right? But it happens to all of us. It happens to me. It happens to you. It happens to the guy, gal next to you. Their frequency gets off. Things get fuzzy for them. And then they start playing differently. They start showing up differently. And they start showing up just agitated. And here's the funny thing, and this is really kind of what made me think about this, is so this weekend I went away and we went to a Father's Day golf tournament and we were staying in this cabin. And I had the weirdest, just the craziest dreams both nights, Friday and Saturday night. And I've been thinking about it a lot because these are dreams that I've never had before. No reason. It's not like I watched a show and then it kind of correlated with the show or anything like that. There was something in this cabin that was emitting this frequency, and I don't know what it was. I have a hunch because Saturday night as I was going to bed, I saw this thing over the closet, and I'm thinking that's what it was. I'm not talking like a metaphysical thing. I'm talking they had a picture or a thing over the closet, and I'm thinking that's what it was. It was just odd enough to me that it really stood out when I saw it, and I think it had a frequency. Everything has a frequency, right? And so that got me thinking about frequencies, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And when you're not in frequency, or when you're around things that aren't in frequency or emitting frequencies that are destructive or incongruent with you, you're going to feel some things, right? You're going to feel that irritation. You're going to feel that vibration, maybe of that person next to you. And you may not consciously know that it's this guy over here next to you that's out of frequency and that's just not harmonious in his life or her life. Right, but you're going to feel that, and the longer you're around that kind of frequency, the more it rubs off on you, and the more your frequency can start to change, and the more your station becomes fuzzy. You see, it's really important to always know what you're tuned into. And I talked about this a little bit the other day on our last live cast that I didn't realize was only to me, and so then I had to switch it to public afterwards. So if you didn't catch it, go back in. And actually, while I'm thinking about this, do me a favor, and if you have a thought about this, comment below. Say hi. Give me a wave. Give me a smile. Give me something. I see you guys are on here, so I know people are hopping on and off. All right, but there's this frequency, and the longer you're not in that frequency that you're supposed to play in, the further away you get from what you want. And so going back to what we talked about on the last live cast, it's about clarity, right? And when you don't know... What's up, Adam? When you don't know what your clarity is, what your purpose is, what your reason, what your destination is, it's hard to know when you're out of frequency. It's hard to know when the person next to you is pulling you out of frequency, right? Because you're just cruising along and you're just always in this state of flux because you don't have clarity about what you want in your life, in your family, in your business, in your body. And so when you don't know, when you're not clear, it's easy for the dial to get out. It's easy to get the static on the line and not ever really know it. George, what's up, my man? Give me a hello. Waiting. Right? So static is really an important feedback mechanism. And everything in life is feedback, right? Anger is feedback. Frustration is feedback. Sadness, joy, success, money, everything is feedback, and it's feedback that you need to listen to, and it's feedback about how clear your station is, right? If you're off on the dial a digit, it makes a huge difference. If you're off on the dial a couple digits, you could be on a whole different playing field, right? You could be on a station that you don't even want to have a part of. And you won't know because you're not clear, right? And everything we do in life is clear. So here we are, we're coming to the end of the quarter. June is the end of the second quarter. And, you know, I always talk about 30, 60, 90-day goals. And if you haven't set those forward yet, it's probably time to. It's probably time to start thinking about third quarter goals for this year. And I'm going to encourage you not to even wait until the third quarter starts. Start your 30, 60, 90 now. Get clear about what you want now. Spend this week, if that's what you need, figuring it out, what you want in your body, in your family, in your connection with your higher sources, right? How you need to get there, what you need to do, get there. Get there with your body. Get there with your being, your family, your business. You've got to have clarity, or else there's just frustration. And you'll know it because every time you head into a situation, what you're going to feel is that anxiety, is that frustration, is that static that just vibrates differently than how you know you should. It's really important feedback. And if you're not listening to it, if you don't realize it, that it's just feedback, then you're just going to think you're pissed off all the time, or that you're frustrated all the time, or that something else is going on, and you're not going to notice that it's feedback, right? When there's things out in the world that are vibrating at a different frequency than where you should be, if you don't pay attention and you don't realize it as such, it's going to pull you off course, right? If you're next to that coworker that's out of frequency, their anger or their frustration is going to start changing your dial. So you and you alone have the power to change that. You can't change them, right? Like I tell my son and my daughter, the only thing you can control is you. How you respond to the situation, what you take away from the situation, all those things, the only person who can determine that is you, right? So you can't change your coworker, and don't try to. That's not your job. Just make sure you're in control of your frequency, and that you're so clear about where you're going and what you're doing that can't disrupt you, right? Are you meditating? Are you sitting? Are you doing something to center yourself? Are you educating yourself daily, right? Get Audible. It's easy. It's simple. All you have to do is tune in, and what I've started doing now to speed the process up is I'm starting to listen to books at 3 times speed so I can get through books quicker. And what you notice is when your frequency is right, you can do that. And it almost sounds like I can hear each word clearly, and then it just sounds like burble in between the words. It's really weird. But anyway, it's about tuning into your frequency and knowing what you want to get done. So the message is this. I'm getting a little sidetracked this morning for whatever reason. Pay attention. Right? This weekend, it was really simple to me to pay attention because these dreams I had were so off the wall and so weird that I knew there was something where we were staying that frequency was entering into my subconscious and changing my frequency, right? And so when you take what you feel and you pay attention to your environment and you have clarity in what you're wanting to accomplish, it's easy to tune the dial in and hone in that frequency so you've got the songs rocking, right? But when you're living unconsciously, and not just generally, but you're living unconsciously in 4 areas of your life, 5 areas of your life, whatever you want to define, right? Then you don't know. You just think it's life. You just think it's just you're just supposed to be angry. You're just supposed to be frustrated or whatever, right? Or you're not supposed to have success. But it's all when your frequency is off is when you encounter friction. And that's actually one of the topics we'll be talking about this week is friction and how to decrease friction in life. Okay, guys, so tune in your dial today. If you liked what I have to share and you're tuning in later and not on the live stream, then leave me a comment, leave me a hi, share the video if you love it. I always appreciate that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right? So get clear. Love, light, peace. I'll see you guys.